When Apple needed a new Sonic logo for Apple TV this year, they didn't type a prompt. They brought in Finneas, the Grammy-winning composer, sat him at piano and built the sound by hand. Real keys, real effect, percussion, real scenes played, not generated. 3 seconds of audio, and they choose the slowest, most expensive way to make it. That's not nostalgia, that's a flex. And it's worth understanding why. There's a pattern that already played out once in physical goods. For most of the last century, handmade was just how things got made, nothing special about it. Then mass production made everything cheap and instant, and suddenly handmade became the premium word. Handmade leather, handmade watches, hand-powered candles, the word only became valuable once the alternative became effortless. Sonic branding is walking into that exact same moment right now. AI can generate a passable 3-second Sonic logo in about the time it takes to read the sentence, which means for the first time a human actually played this is starting to carry real weight again. And the brands paying attention aren't rejecting AI entirely. The same 2026 trend report show plenty of brands using AI for extended cuts, alternate version, quick variation of an existing asset. But the core identity moment, the 3 seconds everyone will hear thousands of times, that's the one they are still choosing to build by hand, on purpose as the asset that has to survive the longest and mean the most. Think about what a piano actually sounds like under real fingers. Keys weight varying slightly from note to note, the pedal catching just a fraction differently each pass, versus what AI model outputs when asked for piano, cinematic, 3 seconds. One of those has a person decision embedded in every milliseconds, the other has an average of piano sample the model was every turn on. Technically correct but belonging no one in particular. Here's the part that isn't just branding theory. A real performance carries teeny human imperfection, timing that breathes slightly, dynamic that shift with intention, the kind of texture a generative model tends to smooth away because the smooth is what was optimized to produce. Most listeners couldn't tell you what phase cancelling or quantization artifacts are. They don't need to, they just feel that something is warm or that something is slightly sterile without being able to name why. An audio logo gets replied constantly, that's the whole point of them. The teeny sameness that would be forgivable once become noticeable the 50th time you hear it. AI-generated audio in particular tends to have that quality, technically clean but strangely uniform in a way repetition exposes rather than hides. A performance that breathes slightly different every few plays doesn't wear out the same way. It ages more like a signature than a preset. This is the same reason a favorite song rarely gets old even after hundreds of listens. While a jingle built from a rigid looping preset starts grading within a few weeks. One was built to be replayed, the other was built to be finished. Here's the objection we hear immediately. We don't have Apple budget for Grammy-winning composer. Fair, and also not really the point. This was never actually about the size of the budget. It's about whether a brand treats its 3 seconds identity moments as worth a real musician times at all, at any budget. A short, professionally performed motif from a working session, musicians cost a fraction of what most companies spend on single week of paid social. It's not a budget problem, it's a priority nobody's assigned yet, because most teams still don't think of their audio logo as something a person actually plays. If you want the deeper argument for why that human judgment can just be automated way, even as AI tools keep improving, we broke that down fully in why AI cannot build a sonic branding. At Dimulti Music, this is exactly why identity moments get real musicians in the room. Not because it's trendy, but because that's the one asset your audience will hear the most times in its life. So here's the shift worth noticing before it becomes obvious to everyone. the cheaper and easier AI makes sound, the more valuable it becomes to be able to say, honestly, a person made this. Right now, that's still a genuine differentiator, but most brands haven't thought about it yet, which means the window to claim it's still open. It won't stay open forever once human-made becomes the expected standard instead of the differentiator. This stop being a flex and start being a table stakes, the same way handmade eventually become just another marketing word once everyone claimed it. Let's make your 3 seconds worth actually playing, not just generating.